Morning everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. We have a frozen and dead weather station. For the past 3-4 days it's been saying 27.7 degrees and 44% humidity outside, regardless what the actual temperature or humidity are. The rest of the weather station is working fine, which I would think if it was batteries, defective batteries or worn out batteries, okay. But since it's the temperature and humidity only, then it makes me wonder. There is a low-level battery indicator on it. I will go out and change the batteries in the sending unit and see if that helps. But the barometric pressure and everything else is working fine. Greenhouse is 47 degrees, so actually 53, a little bit higher on where I have the other thermometer inside the greenhouse. Is 53 degrees, and it's 47 down lower, so that's not bad. The sun is shining in the greenhouse. I was just out there and it feels nice and cozy warm. We have a cold, frozen winter environment. The snow never did melt, and it's very frozen and cold out here. A couple inches of snow still. It just didn't go away. But this is winter. As long as we keep it warm and cozy in our buildings, we'll be okay. Melanie, how do you like the winter?
It's cold.
It's cold.
It's nice, but it's cold.
Yeah. So we're straightening up the house a little bit. Oh yes, Melanie, turn. Go over there in the corner. No. That's there you go. That'll work. Melanie made this out of some recycled pallet wood. And it's hard to get the right lighting because the boy, it's washed out on my screen. Yeah, but that's the problem with the lighting in here, with the sun and the light behind both windows. But it looks really nice, and she showed it to all the family members through the phone, and everybody loves it and said she needs to make more. Tell us what you think, everybody. If you can see it well. Let's put it up here. Let me see if I can get a better background. There it is. That's better. Now I can see it. It's just so hard with the windows washing everything out. So that's what Melanie made. I threw the pieces of pallet wood together and gave them a rough sanding, and then she painted and put on the words. So let us know what you think. And Melanie's waiting
for your comments.
Hey everybody. It's crunchy. But the solar panels are clear. And let's see what kind of result it has on the solar panels. The wood stove is out, and yes, the pipes are upside down. I didn't see that before, and yes, creosote is running out. Is it upside down? This goes in. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was right, so I'm going to have to put that inside. I'm going to have to reverse the whole thing and put that inside. Oh, yeah, well, that's a job I'm going to have to do, because, yeah, the soot is running out. You guys are right. I failed again. 107 watts on the TriStar, and what do we got? 8 amps, we got 3 amps, 9 amps. 9 amps, we got about 220 some odd watts of power coming in on gray sky conditions. So that's really decent. That's just from the sun on the snow. We've got 45 degrees inside and 27 on the freezer, so we're gonna have to run that freezer today because we have had heat in here, so it definitely makes a difference. I'm gonna put the power plug or the drain plug back in the water heater, and we'll have some showers today and then drain that back out because it's gonna get colder and colder and colder. But we're getting better. I picked up insulation for the ceiling in here and for the greenhouse. I got paid for the t-shirts sales. I want to thank everyone who helped contribute in any way, shape, or form during that campaign, because we got our insulation. I want to say thank you guys very much to make this happen. So the next couple days is going to be hot and heavy working in here, sealing off the ceiling in both buildings and getting the greenhouse wood stove going. Hi Melanie, what are we doing?
I'm baking.
I'm baking. Melanie's practicing her loud voice.
I'm baking.
What are we baking?
A dinner roll?
Oh, I love your dinner rolls.
Yes.
And we've got something over here on the table. Tortillas, homemade. She does pretty good on that. And I have wood pellet pieces. Not as tasty as her food, but anyway, I ran a bunch of boards through the planer, and I've got a lot better surface to work with here. These are beautiful. The ends are really nice greens on these, really beautiful pieces. There was a nail hole there. I left here, for example, there was 3 nails in it. That's the bottom, that'll never be seen. But I left any flaws and imperfections in the pallet because it is a pallet. This is all softer wood, and Melanie's going to be wood burning these this afternoon. And I also have some really, really beautiful hardwood that we're going to sell plain as is. So we're really knocking things out today. Hi guys, I have put 2 2x6s on the ground as support to keep the barrels off the ground, and then I laid the one barrel in place and I used my framing nailer to tack down 2 boards down here to stop that bottom barrel from rolling out. It's tight against the wall this way, a little air gap this way, and then I put 2 2x6s underneath. Well, I put the other barrel on top and slid in 2 2x6s. And then nailed on a couple chunks of wood to stop that from rolling, so that I can build a framework, which will then of course be fastened to the wall securely, which will stop that all from falling apart. Oh, the problem is everything's under snow. All my wood and building supplies are under snow, and I have not, I hadn't really given that as much thought about the building supplies that I'm going to need for framing this in. So what eventually we'll have is boards coming down here across the front of this, attached to the wall here, and going across here to a board that's securely on the wall that way. Give me a very solid framework there, and then they can't roll away anymore. And then the next 2 barrels will go here side by side next to them when I expand, and then I'll build a frame and extend that frame basically, and then I'll have my tabletop for the raised grow bed. So I have to build it rugged and heavy and tough to hold the weight of the raised grow bed that'll be on top of that. So right now I am trying to figure out how to frame this in and what to use, because I cannot do anything until I frame that in. And I'm running out of hours. It's dark already. It's getting dark. And I'm running out of time. And tomorrow night is going to be the deep freeze. So if I don't have something going out here, then we're in trouble. Because tomorrow night's going to be really, really bad. So I wanted to insulate both the shed and the greenhouse before tomorrow night, but that's just not going to happen. It's just not realistic. What we're going to have to do is just keep that shed heated and not have the shower going, obviously. Keep that shed heated and then come out here and run this wood stove tomorrow and heat up those water tanks and then keep that wood stove burning. It's going to be the only way. But since that won't be any hotter than hot water, there's no danger here to be worried about. Somebody said I just made myself a bomb. Well, that's not true because it's going to be vented. So there's no danger of anything there. There's not going to be any pressure buildup. The only pressure at all is actually from gravity, from the weight of the water. The way the system works is the weight of the water, of cold water, is heavier than hot. So the pressure of all those the water in those tanks is going to push downwards, and then the hot water is lighter, and it's naturally going to flow up and into the top of that top tank, and then it's going to cycle on its own. That's the theory anyway. So I think I'm going to take a little break and consider things. I got 2 clean barrels in here, and inside they're pretty decent. There was just a tiny bit of ice in each one at the bottom. Storing a drum upright, even though the caps were on them both, the water fills the top and then seeps in through the cap. If it wasn't sealed, and that's what we had. But anyway, they're fine. There's no rust in these 2 drums. So I am just thinking now about how I'm going to proceed with this, with the framing of this. Alright guys, Chris is just leaving. I put the fittings on the pipes and got them plumb with each other, and I figure that isn't going to fall apart tonight. And then I'm going to put the plumbing in here between these 2. From here to here, I'm going to make that right now, and then I'm going to hook up the wood stove and put those pipe fittings in, one going up to here and then the return line here, and I'll have the plumbing done tonight. That I will have done tonight, the plumbing. And then I'll finish the framing tomorrow, and then we'll have to pump some water into here and get the wood stove going for tomorrow night. But that is going to give us 110 gallons of thermal mass, thermal storing capability, and then also with a wood stove going, this big tank, we're going to finish filling that off, and that'll help resist the loss in heat out here. So, alright, well, I'm going to get to it. I've got to go get the reciprocating saw and get going. I got some pieces cut and sitting together. I am thinking this through before I do this, because once you put the glue on, it's done. And I'm going to have to line these pieces up perfectly straight. And I guess what I'm going to have to do is make this elbow section first, and then glue on the middle pieces, and then I'm going to have to glue the 2 couplings and slide it in, and then it's going to be permanent. Once that's in there, that's it. That is not going anywhere. Now I left some extra pipe in between here in case I ever want to cut these off or do some readjusting in the future. So I intentionally left extra space in here, that way I don't have to get rid of everything in the future if I ever want to open this up or disconnect these. So hot water is going to flow from the stove in here, flow down through that, out and back into the stove, in theory. Okay, I've got this sitting in here. I'm going to attempt to let you see me do this. I'm probably going to block. So, this is all solid. I am happy I bought 2 extra pieces because I goofed. This one was too short. This, I have to tell you, is really tough to dry fit these pipes together and make them precise like this. But the second time around worked. I was in a hurry on the first one. Well, not really in a hurry so much as just not paying attention as well, and I messed up. So now I've got to lube these two. Well, glue them, I should say. I've got to glue them and then put the ends on. So this is going to be fun. Don't want too much glue on the things. I'm going to put that on here. Once I slide them together, it is permanent and fast. Line them up. Shove. Oh, come on. There's no playing around on this stuff. Once it's in, it's in. That's it. It is permanent and fast. That's it. For better or for worse, that's done. This glue sets up fast. So, there's that. I shifted the can over a little, but there's nothing I can do about that. 1/4 inch off. Nothing I can do. I didn't foresee that. But, they're together. They're going to work. Hopefully, they're sealed well, and they'll hold water. I guess time will tell. I didn't get to do the little twist. I'll check them in the daylight tomorrow, and if it looks like they're not sealed well enough, I'll put some glue in around the edges and sort of shove it in a little. Okay, now it's time to do the wood stove fittings, and then I'll call it a night out here. I still got to get a fire going in the shed and maintain that because it's going to drop down pretty cold tonight. Well, guys, I'm at a bit of an impasse. I've got the fittings on the stove and tightened up. I've got the fittings resting on here. This is the filler neck and the pressure release, so there won't be any pressure. The problem I have now, though, by the way I cut the pieces that I messed up worked perfect for here, so I didn't lose anything. They work there. But the problem I have now is I'm going to have to probably take the legs off this and put that on bricks. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi. I'm recording, just so you know. So that'll make that lower because this is lower than this now, and that's the return line. We don't want that to have to go uphill so much. But then we have the problem that this here is not going uphill anymore. And it's not going to, it interferes, the top of the stove hits. So either I'm going to have to take it all apart and put an expansion out here, but then I'd have to extend this out, or get some elbows. And I've got to do some research because I don't think you want elbows in this. So I think most likely I'm going to end up putting a longer nipple on here to bring this out so that I can go up at the right angle. So I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it's going to have to be then, so I get that angle right. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Tomorrow I'll have to deal with that. Looking good though. Hey everybody, this is Troy and
Melanie.
from the Do-It-Yourself World, and
The Off-Grid Project.
please subscribe and follow our daily videos as we strive to become self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching.